We have a quorum, we have 6, right? Ed's the one that's blank there. Yeah, Eddie's there. You all set? Are we on?
Yeah, we are. We only have 2 other people logged on attendees.
All right, can you continue to try to get Dee on? All right, we're going to start this meeting. This is the regularly scheduled planning board meeting for the town of Portsmouth for June 9, 2021. First item on the agenda are agenda continuances and modifications. Kowinski, I understand that item number 10, there's been a request by Councilwoman Abbott to continue that to our next meeting. Is that correct, Michael? That's correct.
That's correct.
So what's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion to continue to the next meeting, which is not till August.
I didn't get the date. Is it August 11th?
Yeah.
Yeah, the second Wednesday is the 11th.
I will second that.
Everybody hear the motion? Okay. Any other discussion about the motion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. We have everybody present except Ms. Wilson. So Mr. Harding.
Aye.
Mr. Lopes.
Aye.
Mr. Garceau.
Aye.
Mr. Tibbetts.
Aye.
Mr. Palat.
Aye.
And the chair also votes in favor. So that's going to be continued to 8/11. And Mr. Lazinski, we need to notify Councilwoman Abbott of that date. Okay.
There, I'm getting a couple messages that people are having a hard time logging in. So at least Katie is one of them. So.
All right. So we're gonna hold and take care of our technical difficulties.
Shot.
This one in order to stay.
It's a Main Street. Across the street, Berry Farm.
Yeah.
Sunday. I don't know how to put this. Special guys.
Yeah. Let me be on him.
Going to draw water.
I'll tell you a story about old man's league down at the Priory when I was the prosecutor. Not supposed to be an uncontact league. You know how that goes, right?
Yeah, this is sort of a gentleman's league.
Guy, this is Gary Crosby here. May I ask a question while we're sitting and waiting?
Oh, we were muted.
Oh, okay.
Yep, here we go. Yep, guys.
Guy, this is Gary Crosby. While we're waiting, I have a question.
But we already covered that part.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So it is, I have to pop over to the budget meeting. So item number 10 is continued to August.
8/11, our regular scheduled meeting.
All right, good, excellent. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, everybody.
Same here.
Yeah.
So how are we doing there, Michael?
I got Court and Dee Dee on.
All right.
There's still only six
What's that mean?
attendees. I would have anticipated there being more.
Yeah, I
from
would
the
too.
call volume I got this week.
Well, that was 7 and 8 right there.
Well, but why would the program doesn't limit the number of people who can attend?
500.
Right, so are we going to proceed? I think we should.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on.
Just one question. If there was a publication that said you're welcome to come, does that,
No, it wasn't. What happened was they got a notice that said there's going to be a hearing. And that was delivered by, I assume, the lawyers for whoever the applicant was.
okay,
They don't, they gave the notice that they had to give, but it's subject to all this scope and stuff.
okay.
Okay, so we ready to go?
Yep.
All right, so we're moving on to item number 2 on the agenda, and this is our minutes from our last meeting, which is May 12, 2021. It was in the packet that I received. I assume that everyone else got it too. Anybody have any changes? Modifications? Dee Dee, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Does anybody have any changes? Because I just have one. If you go to
Okay.
page 2, and it's line 2, it says, the approval will be based upon the condition that the accessory structure, the pool, and I think it should be in the pool, or including the pool. Because there's also an accessory structure there. There's like a pool cabana or something like that. And if you look at it in the decision reflects that.
That the pool is the accessory structure, correct?
That wasn't really sort of the accessory use. There's also like an outbuilding there too.
Right. If you look at the paragraph above, it says that the house and the pool house will be demolished.
Right.
So how do you want to change this?
So I would just put the word "and" in there, and the accessory structure and the pool cannot be used. Goes next. Just very, very minor.
Okay,
Anybody else? Okay, what's the pleasure of the board?
With that minor change, I'd like to accept the minutes as written.
Second,
Did you get that, Dee?
yep.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Mr. Harding?
Aye.
Mr. Lopes?
aye,
Mr. Garceau?
aye,
Mr. Tibbetts?
Aye.
Mr. Palat?
Aye.
Mr. Bissonnette votes aye, so the ayes have it. Moving on to item number 3 on the agenda. This is an application. Applicant is Mark Horan. Owner Elaine Ruduano. Trustee AP 67 Lot 13B, 273 Indian Avenue. This is the basically our decision, right?
Right.
We've already made a decision here. It's just that written decision reflects our decision. Has everybody had an opportunity as a member of the board to review the decision?
I had something on there.
Okay, let's hear it.
It was just a spelling thing. It says MINOT subdivision.
Where are you?
First page, 6 line,
Oh, yeah, it says Minot.
not like some French subdivision.
Yeah, that's French for minor.
So subject to that. Well done, I didn't see that.
My brain went from English to French.
Any other changes or modifications? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Mr. Harding,
Aye.
Mr. Lopes,
aye,
Mr. Garceau,
Aye,
Tibbetts,
Aye.
Mr. Palat,
Aye.
chair votes aye. Ayes have it. Item number 4 on the agenda similarly is, let's see what this is. Applicant and owner are Sylvia Holdings. This is also an advisory opinion to the town council. And this is a review of that advisory opinion to the council. And it's our second review of this. Everybody have an opportunity to review it? Any typos, Mr. Garceau?
Not that I saw.
Mr. Chair, I recused myself last time. Sorry.
You have to recuse yourself on this. Anybody else have any comments, changes, modifications to the opinion that we previously given? All right, hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Mr. Harding,
Aye.
Mr. Lopes,
aye,
Mr. Garceau,
Aye.
Tibbetts,
Abstain.
that's right, sorry. Mr. Palat,
aye,
and the chair also votes aye, so the ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is, again, another one, I believe. This is the applicant and owner are Carlone, John Carlone and Margaret Carlone. This has to do with their property on Dexter Street, and we issued an advisory opinion to the town council, which has now been put into a written form. Everybody have the opportunity to review that decision. Are there any changes or modifications? Any other comments? What's the pleasure of the board on the written decision?
Make a motion to approve the favorable advisory opinion to the town council.
Is there a second?
I will second.
For any other discussion? Any other comments? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Mr. Harding,
Aye.
Mr. Lopes,
aye,
Mr. Garceau,
Aye.
Mr. Tibbetts.
Aye.
Mr. Palat,
aye,
and the chair votes aye, so the ayes have it. Item number 6. This is an application for West Main Solar. This was something we approved last time. This is the master plan, approval, our decision. Was in the packet. Everybody have an opportunity to review it. It's very lengthy. Are there any changes, typos, modifications, comments? All right, hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Mr. Harding,
Aye.
Mr. Lopes,
aye,
Mr. Garceau,
Aye.
Mr. Tibbetts,
Aye.
Mr. Palat.
aye,
The chair votes also in favor, so the ayes have it. All right, this gets us down to the,
It seems like we're having some issues with people being able to log on using the link that was provided, the agenda. I just tried to do it to log on and it says the host has another meeting in progress.
so what does that mean?
For anyone who's following the agenda and trying to access the meeting through the link isn't.
Well, how did some people get on and not other people?
It looks like a lot of people called in.
So it was the call-in feature as opposed to the,
Call, so you can do either. The majority of the people are that are on. I sent forth an invite. Other than that, there's Lynn Small. She got on. Big problem.
well, probably is a problem. If people can't publicly participate.
Yeah.
It's kind of the whole point of having a public meeting. So,
But up until now, has there been anything that public? should
no,
be-
you still can't do it.
I mean, this next one is coming up.
The ones coming up are probably, I don't know what's gonna happen, so I don't wanna prejudge that, but, well, if we're not having a technical public meeting, which we're not, because people are being precluded from having access, then we can't continue or go forward. In fact, everything we've done is probably not legitimate. Am I incorrect in saying that, Mr. Osceola?
Yeah, but maybe ask the solicitor.
Solicitor on?
But yeah, unmute Kevin.
yeah, I'm just unmuting. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I understand what the problem is, but if people can't get on this meeting and can't participate, that's a problem.
No question.
And so I would agree that I don't, is this a solvable thing or I'm not sure what the issue is.
How solvable Mike would have done.
I think there's an issue if we had to operate on the state account instead of the normal town account, because there's a town council budget hearing tonight.
Oh,
So they're on the town account.
Yeah.
And so the audio portion is probably a state number as opposed to a town number.
Yeah, and we were
So
told
we can't
that,
resolve that.
we were told it would still be the same.
if the public can't participate, then I think we have to continue it.
I agree. I agree 100%. So the question is, do we do a special meeting in July or do we just continue everything over to 8/11?
I think for the sake of people that need to move on with their project, just because there's an audio thing, we should take an exception. And do have a July meeting.
Or another attempt in, I mean, that first weekend, I guess it'd be the 2nd or 14th. I mean, another option is to do it in
It would be the 14th.
the 2 weeks instead of July.
I don't mind being in the middle of July. Gives everybody out. It also gives these guys time to figure out what that just happened. But I think you're right, Mike. I think probably when you went over to the state system, the telephone portion of that probably was changed too. Yeah. Well, it's just not good. You can't have a public meeting. Public can't. It's just not.
We have a public meeting without the public.
Well, that's kind of the whole idea, Kevin.
Right.
So are you making a motion?
I make a motion that we continue this to the second week in July, the 14th.
Bastille Day. That's it. Bastille Day. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Everybody understand the motion? Go ahead.
Well, I guess related, the motion that we continued, I guess you pull that back as well. So
I don't think anything we did today was legitimate.
Understand.
And so my attitude is this agenda,
Correct, I
the
agree.
entire agenda, everything that we did is going to have to be again, and it will be done on the 14th.
This was
Practice makes perfect.
What was it, Seth?
I said practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I'm not a big guy on repeating the same thing over and over again. But yeah, I'll buy it. I'll go with that.
I'm a half full kind of guy.
There are a couple of hands raised.
But we can't have a meeting. We can't have a meeting. So if you can't have a meeting, and that's what the solicitor advised, there's nothing to discuss. It would be the same as if we didn't have a quorum. I hope that's frustrating to everybody, but that's the way it's got to be. All right, I'm going to call for a vote. Mr. Harding,
Aye.
Mr. Lopes,
aye,
Mr. Garceau,
Aye.
Mr. Tibbetts,
Aye.
Mr. Palat,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Sorry, everybody.
Might we be back in public next time?
Well, if we really want to have a meeting, yeah.
No, I mean, all of us up there at the town.
Yeah, that might be a possibility. I mean, actually physically present in the same room. Yeah, my understanding is the town hall is going to open up on Monday, but what happens after that will be up to them. But I can't really see them keeping all public meetings remote if, everybody else is moving in the opposite direction. But I don't make those decisions, and that's above my pay grade.
So a notice will be sent out, right?
Yeah, Leon. You need to give a notice, or do we need to give a notice to all the applicants, the 10 applicants here? I think we do. So you're gonna have to send a notice to everybody that was an applicant, telling them that the meeting did not take place because of technical difficulties, and that there's a special meeting that's been called for 7/14, and it will be heard then. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, anything else?
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
anything that requires-
How should I handle the minutes for tonight? Do you want something that,
There should be like a brief set of minutes that said there was an attempt to
okay,
proceed with the meeting, but because of technical difficulties, it became infeasible.
okay, all right,
Voted to continue it. There's nothing of substance that we did today.
okay.
That's legitimate or feasible.
And all votes that were taken are null.
Or no.
All right.
Do you have something to say, Kevin?
Yes, and anything that requires, unfortunately, public advertising and notice, et cetera, needs to be redone.
Did you hear that, Leon?
Advertising?
If it's a
Yes.
meeting,
Like the
Why don't-
wedding neighbors.
yeah, why don't you can, and by the way, if it's gonna be a remote, meeting, I think that people should be not told to come to town hall, but that's a different story.
But we should try to get it.
Talk to Kevin about the notices, okay? Talk to the
I mean,
solicitor.
I think people are doing, at this stage of things, people are doing kind of a hybrid thing where it's public and
Public and Zoom, yeah, that you might be true.
it was
That
just,
might be true. Because they're probably gonna do it in such a way that people have to be socially distanced in some of these applications.
Or maybe even in churches.
right, but that's a detail to notice, but I'm just trying to point out that I really do think that if this is a nullity, everything's gotta be noticed again from scratch.
All right, then will you make it your business to talk to Leon and make sure we get all that out?
Me between myself and Mike, yes.
Yeah, well, between the two of you and Leon, we need to do this correctly. You can't have a public meeting if you don't do it right. All right, anything else? Sorry, everybody.
I mean, Mr. Chair, this is Mr. Lopes. Did you say July 14th? Was that the correct date?
Correct.
Thank you.
Isn't even a meeting to adjourn.
There is no meeting to adjourn now.
If there had been a meeting, I would be saying motion to adjourn.
It's the same thing as if we didn't have a quorum.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. If you didn't have a quorum, you just continue it to the next meeting.
Right.
Even the vote that we did to 7:15, at the 7:14 might be not be. But I think giving the applicants an early, as long as everything's renoticed.
The likelihood that people that want to come in, to come in.
I don't want to predict what the town's going to Kevin was suggesting
I've
possible.
heard state law is gonna require.
Are we still on?
Yeah, it's gonna require votes,
I heard.
for 18 months.
Okay, that makes sense. And I'm sure that we'll follow, we have to follow state laws. All right, we're done. Shut her down. Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.